I think we will look back in history on how autistic people were treated as a profound disrespect once we come into the age of understanding these people better. All of you autistic people, wait 30 years, okay? It's going to be a different world for our kids than we had certainly, and that children are having now. There will be autonomy given, respect given for sensitivities, accommodations made. It will become the norm, I promise you. We will look back and think of this time as when any marginalized group was coming into the mainstream, okay? Parents of autistic children, get ahead of the curve by listening to your child now, okay? That's how this is going to go. That's how we're going to evolve into this, is that they will be listened to, okay? This time that we are experiencing now of things like ABA therapy and things that essentially are equivalent to gay conversion camps will be no more. I promise. We can all get ahead of the curve by admitting what we need, demanding to be taken seriously what we need, and basically having our voice be heard. This idea that a certain amount of masking is needed to exist in society, well, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. No group has ever come into themselves by agreeing that a little bit of masking is necessary. Everyone has the right to be their true self. I feel a very huge part of my mission here is to advocate for the sovereignty of children, especially neurodivergent children. This may seem like a radical idea to those who grew up in especially a Western or American culture, but you don't need to actually control your child at all. They're perfectly capable of self-actualizing without your influence or your control. If you are a neurodivergent adult, you're probably just now coming into the concept and the idea of sovereignty yourself, thinking that you yourself can, for example, make decisions and go against common knowledge if it's not right for you. That wasn't really allowed when we were growing up, so it's probably a new concept that you're struggling to embody now. This is the way we're moving, and I would like to suggest that if you have a child, any kind of child, but especially a neurodivergent child, watch them. Just let them be. They aren't programmed by this place yet. That means the codes they're bringing are pure. They are perfectly capable of fulfilling their mission. They're perfectly capable of identifying what is actually a problem for them that they would like to work on. We don't even let them discover that. We just give them millions of other problems that are to do with their core identity and say, here, you have to change this before you can even enter into the notion of self-actualizing. It's a waste of their time, and dare I say, it's a waste of their essence and energy being here. It's such a gift that they're here. They are the teachers. They are master teachers coming in now, okay? I'm going to write a book about this, about sovereign children and how to facilitate that for your own child, how to access trust of yourself so that you can begin to trust that they also are capable. There's a lot of myths about children and adolescents that just seriously are not true. And you can even see this in cultures that don't enforce the same level of control. These issues are not present at all. For example, the idea of teenage rebellion. If you don't try to control a teenager, if you offer them trust that they can self-actualize, and you don't force their nervous system out of regulation, and most importantly, you trust them, watch how they don't need to rebel. I think it's even a myth that neurodivergent people are dysregulated and that they need all of this help to get back into regulation. No, you're sensitive and you need to be left alone a little bit. You need to not be forced and controlled and have all of your energy usurped. That's the main issue. A lot of what we see is purely a symptom of the way that we operate. It's not a truth. Okay, I'm going to be speaking about autistic children, but I swear this really applies to all children. It's just that it really must apply now to autistic children because this is very crucial to how they can be okay in this world. They're going to need freedom, lots and lots of freedom, as much freedom as possible. If they don't want to do something, don't make them do it. If they don't want to eat something, don't make them eat it. If they don't want to go to school, if you can, take them out of school. They are very wise. They read energy insanely. They have an innate and intuitive knowing about everything that they need, and they will absolutely thrive if you give them the freedom and the space and the creative capacity that they desire. Whether that's just sitting there for a little bit or doing something very creative. It's all purposeful. No child really needs any direction. They need freedom and an emotionally healthy environment, and that is essentially it. Believe it or not, children are entire human beings, and they are self-actualizing. They are not blank slates. They learn from experience, okay? Especially autistic kids, okay? Things that they would learn in school, that stuff is kind of obvious to them, okay? It doesn't take any brain, it doesn't take anything at all to absorb. They need to be able to learn from experience. They want to experiment, okay? These are highly creative beings, okay? They need this. This is not negotiable. They should not be forced into anything that they don't want to do. And they should be allowed to try what they do. I've never heard of one single case of an autistic child going off the rails because they're given respect or autonomy in their daily life. It just doesn't happen. What they will become is independent, confident, charismatic, and incredibly empowered to exist in this world. If you give them that initial respect of letting them be as children, you will be amazed with what they are what they can possibly turn into. We've never seen it before on this earth. I promise you. Really no child has ever been allowed to self-actualize in an authentic way, and especially not an autistic child. Just watch. Society has never understood you, ever. And yet you've always brought change, innovation, insight, and at the very least, a completely new perspective to the world. I think we need to stop framing autism as a disorder at all. Call me crazy. The disorder is living in a society that isn't built for humans, let alone autistic people. When you have a heightened, more sensitive nervous system, it just becomes painfully clear how unsustainable society really is for everybody. We kind of illuminate that through our sensitivity. So instead of viewing yourself as someone who has a massive set of limitations, realize that there's nothing wrong with you. It's society that can't accept you and that forces a life on you that makes any negative trait of autism appear. The only problem is when you're not allowed to be authentically autistic. I think if we reframed it in a way that listed symptoms like this, it might be more accurate and lend a more accurate view to how we should actually think of autism. Tells the truth, is able to empathize with literally anyone, and does so to a painful degree, even a leaf if they wanted to. Experiences life in vivid color, each sensation heightened for maximum experience. Enjoys a low-key life and requires loving presences around them. Cannot easily withstand harsh or negative physical environments without significant physical repercussions to their bodies. Intuitively reads energy and usually sees the best in people around them. I think with the narrative of it being a disorder, we're entirely missing the point of being this way, which is to shine your light. You have a light. You're not supposed to cower and to dim your light to fit society. It's the opposite. We're here to bust this system. People react negatively to you because you are opening their heart. You are making them encounter something that they find uncomfortable. This is their problem. It has nothing to do with you. You are offering them an opportunity to expand their heart and to catalyze greater empathy and understanding for people. You don't need to change. The opposite. Stay exactly who you are. You may not understand, but the thing that's taxing on your nervous system is being in a constant state of presence. This is an elevated state of consciousness, which I don't think you realize. But this is going to mean more synthesizing of information for your nervous system. Being present means that you take on more of your surroundings. You are aware of more. There's more information going into your system, okay? This is taxing on the nervous system because our systems are not that upgraded. We're in a janky sort of hardware, and so having all of this information come in at once is going to feel taxing. But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is why meditation in the traditional sense is not exactly for us. It's not really designed for us, but also why we don't really need it. Meditation is sort of the goal of it in the traditional sense is to get you to a state of presence in the body, a state of presence which brings forth the awareness of your higher essence, which is that kind of calm, serene observer state. Well, it's very likely that you live in that state. It's very likely that you've always lived in that state, which is why the world is very, very confusing, because living in that state will give you a different set of notions and a different set of experiences than being completely not present in your body or in your life. The breakthrough that comes in meditation for a lot of people is that, okay, here's what you can do in meditation. You can go a lot further, but you're not going to see a lot of instruction manuals out there about how to do it, because the main point for a lot of people is to get to that state of presence and that state of sort of rest and tranquility in the body that we achieve actually really quite easily, and it's the friction of the outside world that makes that difficult to maintain. What you can do in these sorts of meditations is dimensionally travel. You can go outside of your body. You can explore the cosmos. I'm not kidding you. You'll be able to psychically explore anywhere you like. And most autistic people that I've ever met are unknowingly channels. They just have a clear open channel and they don't even know it. We also really benefit from movement. This moves around energy and sort of allows you expansion of exploration. Going on walks, for example, we're pretty much an open channel and an antenna, so you're picking up frequencies everywhere you go. So walking around in nature, for example, can give you a hugely vibrant and expansive experience compared to just going on a walk. It doesn't have to just be that, and for you it probably isn't already. So just know that there's sort of infinite exploration if you're at that point where you're sort of in the present state all the time. When I say that autistic people are spiritually advanced, I am not talking about what people refer to as Asperger's or level 1 support needs only. Quite the opposite. In fact, a lot of the times the nonverbal autistics, the severely physically disabled autistic people, what's going on is that they are extremely advanced spiritual beings. They exist at such a high frequency, and a lot of the time they choose not to incarnate fully. They'll do what's called lightly incarnating, and that's so that they never break their connection to source, not entirely. So they might not have a lot of control over their bodies, but they are, if you could see their energy, they're like highlighters. They're so insanely bright. And if you've ever been around, been blessed enough to be around someone like that, you feel their energy and you can feel how loving it is. So no, it doesn't just refer to low support needs. In fact, I've seen an almost direct correlation to how if you're severely disabled autistic, higher energy that you're bringing, or you've chosen to incarnate a little bit less, embody in a different way, I would say. And they're almost nearly constantly receiving higher dimensional energy and information, and the world can be physically painful for them to exist in. They're not used to this level of reality, and they came here as a service, and we do not understand them at all. Not only are they highly intelligent, they are aware of what's going on, and they're aware of a lot of things that you're not. So we really need to start thinking about these people differently. They should be embraced and nurtured and loved by society, not treated as if they are just disabled people, because they're not. If you've ever been around one, if you could see, they're incredibly amazing.
The street has closed for a ride undone. The street has closed, it could be unknown. In the dark, my friend, we'll meet to blend a truth to lend for a day to spend, a lovely scent that once been smelled, that has no end. Escaping up, mixed through us. Escaping up, mixed through us. It's hard to find it when you're in it. It's hard to find it when you're into it. The sun replaces it, no save nor sound on a frozen ground. No love can be safe with me. 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 You took a chance and you took the fall for us. You came thoughtfully, loved me faithfully. You taught me honor. You did it for me. Too late, you sleep away. You wait for me, my love. Now I am strong. You gave me all. You gave all you had, and now I am my love. Leave yourself behind. Beat inside me. Leave you blind. My love, look what you can do. I am mending. I'll be with you. You took my hand. You added a plan. You gave me a heart. I asked you to dance with me. You laughed honestly. Gave what you could release. In peace you go. I hope relief is yours. Now I am strong. You gave me all. You gave all you had, and now I leave yourself behind. Breathe inside me. I'll be with you.
Surrounded by a shield, I'm getting clear while I cling, while I bring me down. Fireless and flee, fireless and flee. filled with tears, with my